It was just a coffee. Small. 2.45s, no cream, no sugar. But he couldn't pay for it. Not that day. He fumbled through his wallet, embarrassed, nervous glances around the cafe. And then, a hand reached forward. A card tapped the machine. "I've got it." Just 3 words. From a stranger. Then he was gone. That was 10 years ago. Today, that same man is lying on an operating table, unconscious. And the doctor about to save him is the boy whose coffee bill he once paid. His name was Daniel. A 22-year-old med student, top of his class, but barely surviving. His scholarship covered tuition, but not rent, not food, certainly not the occasional coffee. Each morning he walked past the cafe window, longing for just 5 quiet minutes. A cup in his hand, and the illusion of normal life. But today, he gave in. He walked in, he ordered, he tried to smile. And when the cashier said, "That'll be $2.45, his heart sank. His wallet had $1.10, 3 crumpled singles, and a bus card. He stood frozen, eyes darting, shame rising. "Sorry, I thought I had enough. I can cancel," then tap, the sound of a card, and a calm voice. "Don't worry, I've got it." Daniel looked up. A man in his 50s, slightly balding, kind smile, wearing a simple gray coat. He nodded once and walked away. Daniel ran out after him. "Wait, at least tell me your name." The man turned, smiled gently. "Just remember me when it's your turn." And then disappeared into the morning crowd. 10 years. 10 long, brutal, beautiful years. Daniel graduated with honors, finished residency, became a trauma surgeon, saved lives, but every time he walked into a cafe, he remembered. Not the coffee, not even the man's face clearly, but the feeling of being seen when he felt invisible. He told no one, not his colleagues, not even his wife. But inside, he made a silent promise. "One day, if I ever get the chance, I'll do more than just say thank you." Sometimes he'd write it down on scrap paper. "Thank you for the coffee," and fold it into his coat pocket, just in case he saw the man again. But he never did. A $2 coffee became the most expensive thing Daniel ever owed. Not in money, but in meaning. Midnight shift. Trauma code. Male 60s, cardiac arrest, unconscious, no ID. Daniel rushed in, gloves on, mask tight. To him, it was another case, another life hanging by seconds. He saw the man's face, bruised, pale, eyes closed. He shouted, "Epi and start compressions, let's go, now!" But as they worked, something pulled at him. The cheekbone, the small scar near the temple, the gray coat soaked in blood. Daniel froze. No way. He stepped closer, really looked. And then it hit him. It was him. The stranger. The man who paid for his coffee 10 years ago. For a split second, everything slowed. All the noise, machines, beeping, chaos, faded into a whisper. "Remember me when it's your turn." The surgery lasted 4 hours. Complications, internal bleeding, close calls. Daniel stayed the whole time, didn't hand it off, didn't take a break. He fought for that man's life like it was his own father. When it was over, he sat in the hallway, sweating, exhausted, but calm. He had done it. He had kept his promise, in the only way that mattered. Later that night, the billing department called him. "Patient has no insurance. What should we eat?" Daniel replied, "Put it on mine." The lady paused. "Doctor, that'll be..." "Doesn't matter." And he hung up. It wasn't about the money. It never was. He didn't want thanks. He just wanted to become the kind of man who would pay it forward, just like someone once did for him. The man opened his eyes slowly. Blurred lights, sterile air, monitors beeping softly. Then, a familiar face leaned into view. Younger, tired, but smiling. "Welcome back," Daniel said. You gave us a scare." The man blinked, confused. He tried to speak, but Daniel held his hand. "You don't need to say anything." There was silence. Then, the man's eyes locked onto Daniel's, and widened, just slightly. A spark of memory. He studied Daniel's face, paused, then whispered hoarsely, "Coffee shop. Midtown?" Daniel smiled. $2.45, no cream, no sugar. The man chuckled, weakly. "Guess it came back around, huh?" Daniel replied, "It always does. In a world full of noise, of bills and busyness and brokenness, a quiet act of kindness isn't lost, it's planted." 10 years ago, a man bought a coffee for a stranger. He didn't know that stranger would become a surgeon. Didn't know he'd almost die a decade later. Didn't know the same boy would be the one to bring him back to life. But that's how kindness works. Not as a transaction, but a ripple. You may never see how far it goes, but someone will. And one day, maybe years from now, it will return. Thank you doesn't always come back in words. Sometimes, it comes back in action. Sometimes, it saves your life. It started with $2.45, a cup of coffee, a moment easily forgotten. But Daniel remembered, and because he remembered, a man is alive. So we ask you, who helped you when you needed it most? Who paid your coffee bill? Even if it wasn't coffee, share your moment below. Someone once helped me when you never know who's reading or how your story might pay it forward. Like if this story moved you, subscribe for more cinematic stories based on real acts of kindness. And always remember, kindness never gets lost. It just waits for its time to return.